Hello, everybody. This is Drachona's Thoughts on Life, shortened as Drake's Thoughts on Life. I'm Drachona, and I'm here to talk to you about all kinds of random shit. Some of it heavy, some of it comedic, some of it random as shit. But the point is, I'm just trying to get my thoughts out there. I've written them all down. Now I'm just trying to get them out to the people so that they can actually hear them if they give a shit about hearing them. I said shit twice. Anyway. Today we're going to talk about something, maybe not heavy, but serious, certainly. We're talking about how we define ourselves, how we create ourselves as people. I promise that later on I will actually have comedic stuff. I reference that I do comedic stuff. But today we're going to focus on this. So, how we define ourselves. This is the entry, just kind of a background explanation. Like I said, I've written all this stuff out. So I'm kind of reading it to you, but they are my thoughts, I promise. You can trust me even though you don't know who I am. Okay. As we are individual beings, only we can understand everything that we experience. Thus, only we can define who we are. Logically, no one else can define you because no one else knows everything about you. The totality of experience and development that, when reflected on, defines who you are. In some cultures, who we are can be defined by others. That's important to know. It is true that individuality is more of a Western concept, but it is also true that the individual almost always knows the most about their own experience. Exceptions might include memory loss, etc. In terms of being weird or strange, many people may realize that there are things that you do that a supposedly normal person might consider to be weird. However, to you, those things are just a part of you, or a part of your habitual actions. You don't recognize them as potentially strange until someone else points them out. But if the best way to be defined is to define yourself, then what other people think of you only matters if you agree with it. The extent to which any comment, good or bad, affects you depends entirely on how much you let it affect you. We naturally seek approval from others because we're social creatures, and of course the denial of reality can lead to poor cohesion with your local group. In other words, not working well with society, not fitting in. And, to fit in is important to an extent, but we can't forget that we choose to agree or disagree with comments that people make about us. We allow something to hurt, compliment, or enlighten us. As long as we can intermingle with the group and perform a social function, whatever that may be, without compromising who we are, we will avoid psychological distress stemming from both a lack of sociability and an overabundance of it. Not conforming enough versus not conforming too much. Losing the social world versus losing individuality. Walking this line is difficult, especially when to do so requires some battling against the oversimplified and sometimes ignorant expectations of society. However, when all else fails and you're not sure where to stand out or how to react, listen to instinct and make the choice or choices that feel the most right for your survival as an individual and for the preservation of your own uniqueness. Normality exists because we can tell it apart from abnormality. So if everyone were normal, no one would be. And I'm sure we've heard that before. But essentially, I'm just trying to get across the idea here that we construct who we are. We define ourselves. The extent to which we let somebody else's comments, critiques, whatever, affect us is something that we decide. And we want other people's comments. We want to know, how do I need to improve? But just because somebody says something doesn't mean you have to take it to heart. Doesn't mean you have to care. You could, as the saying goes, take it with a grain of salt, or you could really take it personally. That's entirely up to you. You have to recognize that you have the choice to distinguish between those two reactions. And from that, you can build who you think you should be, not who other people think you should be. Don't accommodate what they think. Do what you think is right. Personally, I believe that we have an instinct, unless we're, if we have a mental disorder, if there's legitimate brain damage or psychological disorder, we have an instinctual knowledge of how to function within our society. As long as we've been raised in that society and we've taken in the cultural standards, we know how to operate in our society, and most of us probably don't do seriously deviant things. We don't go out and kill people, we don't go out and rape people or do anything like that. Or even, steal a bunch of money or something like that. The average person doesn't go out and do those kinds of things, but we have a basic idea of how to function in our unique society. So we know that what we're doing, even if we're a little strange, a little weird, not the norm, we know that we're not causing any kind of problems, we're not hurting anybody, as long as we're functioning in society, as long as we're actually doing a job and socially and even sexually reproducing to promote the cohesion and the survival of our group. So, yeah, I guess, summary, we define ourselves. Other people don't define us. In some cultures, a person is defined by other people. But at the end of the day, we define ourselves because in our heads, when we think about ourselves, we control that, not anybody else. And we can choose, like I said, to take to heart what other people say, or to just kind of say, you know what, I don't really believe that. I don't think that's true about me, so I'm going to say, no, you're wrong, screw you. So, yeah, that's the basic summary. And I guess that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening to Drake's Thoughts on Life. I'm Drachona, and like I said, I will try to put in some comedy. There's going to be some serious stuff, some comedy, random thoughts, quotes, just about anything, whatever comes to my mind, really. I mean, you have to decide right now if you want to listen to this, because it's going to be a bunch of random shit, and it's just going to be stuff that came from my head, and that could be scary. I'm thinking about you. Listening to me right now, I'm thinking about you, listener. You're a good person, and you know that. But yeah, anyway, so, hate to plug myself, but that's what everybody does. So subscribe, like, give me some comments. Not hateful ones. I will try to check the comments section, because usually it's not that nice, but I will at least give it a look. Give me some thoughts. What do you think about what I've just said? Or what do you think about anything? Any topics you want me to talk about? Some big social issue you want me to tackle, or at least try? Or some random thing that you want me to do that would be funny or interesting, as long as it doesn't put me in any pain or make me look incredibly ridiculous. Just let me know. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, do all of those things. Go, listener, go now, and have a pleasant day.